gaye kabondi kamile mile 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 niyanka sogo nikanga sogo gaye kabondi kamile mile 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 niyanka hawi Manila kalokoi Hanoki gane mane mane Wafakai maganda ton ton Fai fai makoira kai Manila kalokoi Hanoki gane mane mane wafakai maganda ton ton fai fai ma koira kai Chinsenga bonko chinsenga bondi chinsenga sogo kaye kalamba Chinsenga bonko chinsenga bondi chinsenga sogo kaye kalamba niyati yowa kana koyo zeri hanagin kaboro niyati yowa kana koyo zeri anagin kaboro benka soba kasoba da soba benka soba kasoba da soba Armego kamboro nyama na haimana Armego kamboro haika fersa mana hai Kaniko kamboro nyaize mana no mane Kaniko kamboro koira mana no mana Nibino nama makaikani dumara hegei Nibino nama makaikani dullo shira Soba kasoba da soba benka soba kasoba da soba Armego kamboro nyama na haimana Armego kamboro hika fersa mana hai Kaniko kamboro nyaizi mana no mane Kaniko kamboro koira mana no mana Nibino nama makaikani dumara hegei Nibino nama makaikani dullo shira Jallanda nimma bai Jallanda ninka bai Jallanda nimma bai Jallanda ninka bai Jallanda nimma bai Jallanda ninka bai Jallanda nimma bai ninka bai nimma bai
Yarabi kele banale Aluma yarabi lorna Sowasiluma yarabi nasikia solo Rabilo Enconscianuma yarabi nasikia solo Yarabi kele dololeri
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Kindly let us settle down so we can witness the 5th generation mobile network, 5G, of course, enabling all of us to be able to, virtually connect with everyone and everything, including machines, people and devices. And of course, the opportunities for this are absolutely endless. Now, before we get started, it's procedure, of course, to give some housekeeping rules. We're requesting all of us to kindly be seated. I encourage everybody, do not switch off your mobile phones. Please keep them on because we want you to enjoy and witness the power of Airtel 5G network. So do that. In case you need to use the washroom, of course, to the main entrance, and then you turn to the right, that's where it is. In the unlikely event of a fire, we've got emergency exit, clearly marked exit, and the fire assembly area is just outside near the swimming pool. Of course, we have to make these announcements at every single event. So thank you very much for joining us. This is going to be a fantastic experience as we experience Airtel 5G tonight. Now, before we get underway, it's a tradition. We have to be upstanding for the national anthem. So I'm going to request us, let us be upstanding for the Kenya national anthem and the East African anthem. Thank you very much. You may be seated. Asanteni sana, everybody. To the Cabinet Secretary for Information, Communications and the Digital Economy, CS Eliud Owalo. To the CEO of Airtel Kenya, and of course the MD as well, Ashish Malhotra. We also have distinguished guests who are here. Of course, not to forget a gentleman who has also been working very hard to ensure that everything is flowing well here tonight, Mr. Airtel Africa Group. This is the commercial officer, Anthony Shiner. Thank you very much also for joining us. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, members of the Fourth Estate, all protocols observed. Asanteni sana for joining us. This is a fantastic day, a momentous day as we launch the Airtel 5G network. I'll say that once again because maybe we did not get the implication of that. We are here to launch the Airtel 5G network tonight. I think that deserves a big round of applause. And of course, we talk about limitless possibilities, and I know the good CS has been busy yesterday, spreading the gospel of what the digital economy can actually bring to this country. And we are very glad that Airtel, of course, has responded to that call to show us the possibilities of what a 5G network can actually bring. Now, to get this underway, this is going to be a very compact program, and I don't want to preempt what our MD and CEO is going to say, so I'm just going to move straight into it. Without further ado, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome the man of the hour. He's been working very hard to ensure that this particular event takes place. He has brought this Airtel dream to fruition, and this is our MD and CEO Airtel Kenya, Mr. Ashish Malhotra. Please, let's give him a round of applause as he comes on stage to give us opening remarks.
South B 11123.
CS Ministry
of Information Technology, Communication and Digital Economy, Mr. Eliud Owalo. Group Commercial Officer, Anthony Shiner. Thank you for coming over here to Kenya. Ladies and gentlemen, all the members of the media, guests, and all our family members from Airtel, a very, very good evening. I'm truly honored to stand before you today as we celebrate the momentous launch of Airtel Kenya 5G network. This occasion marks a significant milestone in our journey that exemplifies our unwavering commitment to providing our esteemed customers with absolute best in connectivity. Before we delve into the extraordinary capabilities of 5G, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to our CS, Mr. Eliud Owalo, for gracing us with his presence at this momentous event for us. I would also like to extend my heartfelt congratulations, sir, for your visionary leadership in the realm of ICT and digital ecosystem, which will undoubtedly cement Kenya's position as the hub for innovation and technology in Africa. At Airtel, we are privileged to have the opportunity to contribute to the realization of this vision. Reflecting on our journey thus far, we have traversed a remarkable path. Since the inception, somewhere in 2000, sir, when we launched our 2G network, we had done about 60 sites and in about 7 counties in the year 2000, which could merely support basic text browsing, low volume applications, email applications. In 2012, we launched our 3G network with an improved throughputs for our customers, somewhere between 1 to 3 Mbps speeds. Applications like YouTube, small light content applications started getting used. But our commitment to revolutionizing browsing speeds opened the gateway to a much more connected world. In 2017, we launched our 4G network, which further elevated the data throughput between 10 to 15 Mbps per user experience, enabling our customers to browse heavy content, gaming, and some examples that you saw CS today about virtual gaming and video conferencing that we all got used to from Zoom calls. Today, I'm proud to declare that Airtel Kenya operates over 3,200 plus sites, 4G sites, covering all 47 counties and firmly establishing us as the most affordable data provider in the country. In conjunction with the advent of 4G, we introduced some good groundbreaking enhancements, such as we launched the Internet Mashinani, which again CS graced us that occasion. We also launched eSIM, which is basically giving a virtual SIM to a virtual platform to a physical SIM. We also launched our VoLTE, enabling high definition voice call experiences at the same call rates as the conventional call rates. However, our commitment extends beyond investing in networks, just alone network. We firmly believe that the transformation of power of education to shape the future of a great nation. In partnership with UNICEF, we have launched and provided free internet access to over 24,500 students across the country. These are just some of the initiatives that we have launched in the last 1 year to accelerate the digital inclusion. Before I do the last part, DG, CA Communications Authority of Kenya, welcome, sir. Please give a big round of applause. Before I delve further into today's launch, I would like to welcome Anthony Shiner, Group Chief Commercial Officer, Airtel Africa, on stage to come and share the company's vision from a global perspective and the importance of Kenya and Airtel Africa. Thank you. Welcome, Anthony. Please give a big round of applause.
CS Ministry of Information, Communication and Digital Economy, Mr. Eliud Owalo, PS President, CA Director, Mr. Ezra Chiloba, MD Airtel Kenya, Mr. Ashish Malhotra, Media Present, distinguished guests, all protocols observed, ladies and gentlemen. When we say it's a genuine honour to be here for someone who works outside of the continent but gets to visit the continent, this is truly an amazing experience for us to be here. When you look at what's happening around the world, Africa is finally taking its rightful place on the global stage. We look around, we see the voice is growing. We see the passion is expanding. We're seeing expats leaving Africa and going throughout the whole world and bringing with them the passion and the energy. So finally we're seeing this on a global stage. But what does that mean for us here? Well, it means that there is a lot more to be done back at home. At Airtel, we've spent a lot of time looking at the continent. We've spent a lot of time saying what is necessary. I had a short conversation with CS earlier. To be truly inspired by CS as to the vision for this country, we have an obligation to deliver services and a quality of service that enables his vision. It's a vision to digitise a nation, to take it to the forefront of the world. We take this obligation very, very seriously. Not too long ago, we launched a new campaign called A Reason to Imagine. It was about inspiring our customers and our people that you can't just take the status quo. You have an imagination, you can dream, and our job at Airtel is to turn that dream, that vision, that mission, that imagination into reality. And you don't do that by using words. You do that by spending money, driving infrastructure, and bringing services that people want. And then the creativity blossoms. The innovation blossoms. And the change and transformation that can occur actually occurs. Kenya is a digital powerhouse. It is the second market that we will launch 5G in Africa. But we have an even bigger responsibility. It is also the largest 5G network in Kenya. We're extremely proud of the team locally for doing this, to build the largest 5G network. Our chairman, Mr. Sunil Bharti, who was here not too long ago, was equally inspired by what he saw when he came here. A government truly digitally focused, a workforce passionate about making the customer the happiest customer in the world, and the inspiration to build digital services. So much so that he made a personal commitment to increase our infrastructure by 650 towers. An amazing contribution. But Mr. CS, Mr. DG, this is a credit to you because it's the inspiration that he derived from you that made him want to make that commitment here. So the reason to imagine is a great tagline, but we believe it's more than a tagline. We believe it has to be a way to work. Our children, the youth of this great country, need to believe that they can change the world. Have a reason to imagine. By bringing 5G to Kenya, we're taking that imagination to reality. We had a small sample outside and a very gracious guest who was willing to play and test the technology. But this is what kids want to do. This is what the youth want to do. Imagine the ideas that can come when you can actually see reality TV and actually learn in a different country whilst you're still at home. Create services and innovations to solve local problems with world-class technology. We want to build a future where connectivity has no bounds, innovation has no limits, but most importantly here this evening, that Kenya can stand tall as a global digital powerhouse. This new era of progress in connectivity will accelerate. The starting point of that great journey is tonight. So thank you, and please, let the limitless possibilities of 5G world begin tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shiner, for those words and, of course, encouragement. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I always say that, you know, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. And the first steps were made many years ago when we used to climb up trees just to be able to get good connectivity to make a phone call. That was a long time ago. We've made strides since then. Then we moved on to 2G, 3G, 4G, and here tonight we are at 5G. Now, just to take us through that journey, I'm going to request all of us to kindly turn our attentions to the screens for this brief video. Definitely some reminiscent moments. And of course, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, you can now live the future with Airtel 5G. And I don't think it's any contradiction if I say it is the best 5G network in the country. I can be confident to say that because it is a fact. And of course, our hashtag for tonight, in case you're going to be sharing any stories from tonight with your friends, is hashtag Airtel 5G, which allows you, of course, to scale the use of bandwidth-intensive processes like, streaming of movies, like issues of virtual reality, like issues of augmented reality that we're actually even going to experience here tonight. This makes it so easy with the Airtel 5G network. And speaking about matters of virtual reality, I think it's time for us to put this to the test because our MD and CEO, Mr. Ashish, of course, is going to be showing us this particular thing. I don't know if he's ready. Mr. Ashish Malhotra is, of course, on standby to show us how this works and what possibilities we can actually exploit with this. Mr. Ashish, can you hear us? I think he's going to be... hold on. Yes, we can hear you and we can see you very clearly. 1 minute you are here, the next minute you are not. How are you doing?
I'm good, Larry. Good to see you again, and good evening once again to everybody.
Yes, good evening to you as well. And we just wanted to explore what the possibilities can bring with this kind of augmented reality and, of course, making it very easy and seamless with the Airtel 5G.
So, Larry, as you can see, it's together in different locations, backed by the power of 5G technology, bringing to the world of limitless possibilities. Today, we just delivering a speech. That's a speech. But we need the room to imagine. Imagine a doctor in London supervising a surgery clinic. Or even more, imagine a professor from Oxford University giving a lecture in real time at an American university. Possibilities are limitless. With utmost pride, we unveiled our 5G network, spanning across 16 counties over 180 wards through 370 plus sites which are 5G enabled. And trust me, this is just amazing. This cutting-edge technology delivers real-time applications, data speeds up to 10x faster than 4G, boasts remarkably low latency speeds, and possesses the capacity to connect millions of devices. Indians can now develop even more immersive online experiences. Even augmented reality, AR, virtual reality, and AR capabilities. At Airtel India, we position ourselves as a digital services enabler, committed to invest wisely in change, in disruption, and innovation. Aligned with Airtel's commitment to providing affordable services, the company is pleased to offer, for the first time ever, ladies and gentlemen, unlimited plans for 5G for as low as 3,500 shillings, along with the 5G router. As you can see on top, we have different products with different kind of speeds, but all unlimited data. 3,500 with unlimited data at 10 Mbps speeds, 5,500 at 30 Mbps speeds, and 7,500 shillings for 15 Mbps speeds. We also have home broadband quality, which is part of the that we launched now, starting as 3,000 shillings. So this is just the beginning of various innovative products that we will bring to the market. In conclusion, I would like to commend our esteemed stakeholders who are joining us, policymakers and regulators, our very dedicated employees, our supportive agents, partners, suppliers, and most importantly, our customers. You have supported us throughout this momentous journey. It is crucial to acknowledge that none of this would have been possible without your unwavering dedication and partnership. Ladies and gentlemen, the future brings with excitement and promise. And I firmly believe that our finest moments are yet to come. Welcome and celebrate with us this notable milestone. Thank you, Salam.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ashish. If you just allow me, there's one thing that actually captured when you talk about limited possibilities is when it comes to issues of education. You're talking about we can be having a professor down south in Pretoria, and we are having very many students in University of Nairobi, for instance. That I think is a very key milestone and the possibilities of this 5G, what it can offer. Okay, thank you very much. I think we are going to give you a couple of minutes to join us back here, and we continue the evening. Thank you very much. Let's give Mr. Ashish Wansara again a big round of applause. So, as he said, I mean, let's just think about all the possibilities. Being able to access education from the remotest of places, if we just have the infrastructure. We set it in place, and we have the Airtel 5G network, which I think we can say without a shadow of a doubt the best 5G in the country. So, ladies and gentlemen, now if you allow me just to give a big round of applause to the entire Airtel Kenya team and family for bringing this here. Let's give them a big round of applause. You are definitely ensuring that limitless possibilities are here with us. Now, as we welcome back our MD and CEO, was just trying to prove a point. He didn't go away. He was actually here. So don't think he was getting bored with his own event. He was just going to put a point across. Now to invite a gentleman who I'm pretty sure maybe uses the fast speeds of the 5G, maybe not to stream movies like me or music like me. He's going to tell us what he uses the 5G speeds for, but of course maybe to experience video calls at fast space. Let's appreciate the Director General of Communications Authority of Kenya, Mr. Ezra Chiloba, to come and give his remarks. And of course, as he comes, he will also tell us if he has had a chance to put on those goggles and experience what virtual reality is all about. Let's give a round of applause once again. Karibu sana.
Right. The chief guest, Cabinet Secretary responsible for information, communication, and the digital economy, Mr. Eliud Owalo, who happens now to be the captain of the industry in as far as our space is concerned. My brother Ashish, and Ashik. Yes, and colleagues, you are here, Airtel customers and partners, good evening. If you realize I got here a little bit late, and partly because I didn't realize that Thika Road is what it is. So along the way, I imagined that perhaps if I had been given an opportunity to appear the way Ashish just appeared, the hologram, perhaps I could still have been able to perform my duties this evening. And I think that is the future which we are investing in. So Airtel, allow me to congratulate you for taking the lead to launch a superior 5G network in Kenya. And as I was coming, I also reflected on a few things. I tried to remember the evolution of Airtel itself. If you've been in this country for the last 20 years, you can probably remember the different stages that Airtel has gone through. I don't know whether Ashish knows that Airtel used to be called Saltel. I don't know whether he knows that at some point they were called Kensel. Later on we had Zain. In between maybe something else. Today we have Airtel. That basically means that even as companies and organizations go through change to reposition themselves in responding to the changing market, so is technology. And we are privileged as the Communication Authority of Kenya to be the regulators or facilitators of this particular sector. I'll also mention that the launch today will not be possible for the decision made by Airtel Kenya sometimes last year, it was December, January. They had to make a very difficult decision to be able to pay for the prime spectrum in the 5G category. That is the 2600. And I remember the conversation I had with the MD then, PD, we called him. My brother, we are giving you this resource, but make sure you do something with it. And they committed to do something with it. Today, I'm very happy that I'm part and parcel of that something which is really great for this country. So again, thank you very much for honoring your word. Waziri, I know you've joined us in government with a lot of zeal and energy, which I must say, that is what we needed to move to the next level of digital transformation. For us, from a regulatory point of view, is to support the government policy of digital transformation. And through partners like Airtel and others, I think that dream is much closer than you ever imagined. So when we talk about 5G, we've just seen the presentation or the video there. That is half of my remarks this evening. So I'm going to skip. But I want to say, when we talk about the 5th generation of network capability, it's not so much about, the ordinary movement from the 1st generation of capabilities, 2nd generation, that's 2G, the 3rd generation, and the 4th generation. The 5th generation of network capability, that is true transformation, bringing about different experiences powered by connectivity in a different way, which also invites us as regulators to start thinking differently about the network, about the sector that we regulate. The question is, 5G for what? And I'm very pleased to note that what you just said, Ashish, 5G in the era of digital transformation means possibilities around access to quality healthcare. It means possibilities around access to quality education. It means ease of mobility when we connect things that, are around us. So this is a transformational change. And the beauty with it also is that it's not limited to mobile operators like Airtel here. The manufacturing sector is also availed the opportunity to be part and parcel of this 5G digital transformation. So that invites us to rethink about our regulatory framework when it comes to enabling the industry to move ahead with innovation to avail the possibilities given by the 5G regime. Now, allow me to say this. So far, we've been able to work with Airtel and Safaricom as the main operators in this space. Spectrum is a limited resource, and when we assign spectrum to operators or licensees, we must undertake a careful review of what that means. And this resource is really a public resource that has to be managed properly. So Safaricom and Airtel leading the way, that's just the beginning. But we are going to get into a new era. We are looking into other possibilities of what other type of spectrum is going to augment what we already have. This year, in October, we are going to have to engage at the global level at the World Radio Conference, where the world is converging to discuss the future of spectrum. 6-week-long debate, countries negotiating on what to give, on what to take. Why? Because the world has realized that unless we coordinate together, we may not maximize the potential that is available by this natural scarce resource. For us as Kenya, I want to assure you that we are prepared to negotiate the best for our country. And I want us to come back here another time just thinking about the transformational changes that we'll have seen and experienced under the leadership of the ministry, as well as the work that we do as regulators. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to once more congratulate Airtel for leading the way, and I want to assure you that this is the type of innovation that we support, and let us work together, a reason to reimagine. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for those remarks. It is indeed true. And it's good that we're bringing this to light, and of course showing all the possibilities and what the commitment, of course, from the government side is putting into this as we imagine what is possible and what we can actually harness from this 5G. It's not only about issues of mobile telephony, as the DG has said, but also the manufacturing industry, which also gives another scope when it comes to issues of employment. So now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my singular pleasure and honor to invite our chief guest to come and give his remarks. And of course, he's been busy. He's been busy the past couple of, I think, 48 hours. We've seen him all over social media, spreading the gospel of what digital economy has to offer. So please, let's put our hands together for this gentleman who has taken the ministry with storm and a lot of energy. CS, karibu sana, making your remarks. Thank you.
Mr. Anthony Shiner, the Group Chief Commercial Officer for Airtel Africa, DG Communications Authority of Kenya, Bwana Chiloba, the CEO of Airtel Kenya, Mr. Ashish, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is indeed my pleasure to preside over this launch of the Airtel Kenya 5th generation wireless cellular network, otherwise known as 5G. The launch of this platform, ladies and gentlemen, is yet another major milestone in the growth of Kenya's mobile telephony and data services. It is also a critical step in the right direction in our nascent digital economy, whose success hangs greatly on connectivity of our people and on meaningful universal access to the digital infrastructure. The 5G network, ladies and gentlemen, is opening up limitless possibilities and opportunities on the internet for Kenya's tech-savvy population, more so the youth and especially other segments of the Kenyan economy which leverage on internet connectivity. Put together with digital skills, ladies and gentlemen, creativity, business acumen, and affordability, the 5G network promises to be a critical catalyst to our emerging digital economy. As we all know, this generation of wireless cellular technology comes fully equipped with higher and faster upload and download speeds. It has been found to have consistent and reliable connections and immense capacity for diverse communication and business activities. A reliable and efficient platform of this kind is absolutely necessary for the digitally enabled, prosperous Kenyan nation that the Kenya Kwanza government, under the tutelage and his leadership of His Excellency the President, William Ruto, and viceroys, and are set out to attain. As government, ladies and gentlemen, we have fully embraced the ongoing digital revolution because we are convinced that Kenya cannot be left behind. We are doing everything possible, therefore, within both the policy, legal, and regulatory framework, and by extension, the technical environment, to make our country Africa's Silicon Savannah. We are building the infrastructure, and in this regard, as you are aware, we have already embarked on the process of rolling out 100,000 kilometers of fiber optic cable. we are establishing and operationalizing a sum total of 25,000 free Wi-Fi hotspots. We are setting up digital laboratories within our institutions of learning and going a step further to operationalize another additional 1,450 digital hubs at the ward level within the villages. So this is a clear indicator, ladies and gentlemen, that as government we are determined to go the full hog in ensuring that we take technology to the lowest echelons of the Kenyan society, or the population for that matter. Our citizens and visitors alike will be pleased to know that we intend to place all government services on the digital platform. And we have already made pronouncements to that effect, ladies and gentlemen. If you recall, when we came into government late last year, we only had a meager 350 services about the e-citizen platform. Today, we have not only taken over the e-citizen platform, which at that point in time was in the hands of the private sector, is now a fully fledged government facility, manned, controlled, and supported by personnel from within government itself for purposes of comfort to the Kenyan public by way of ensuring security and privacy of the data that is domiciled there. We have gone further and managed to digitalize an additional about 4,800 services, ladies and gentlemen. As we speak today, we have a sum total of 5,084 services about that digital platform. We have gone ahead, ladies and gentlemen, to identify a sum total of about 10,000 government services that can possibly be digitalized. And our proposition in this regard, ladies and gentlemen, is that by the end of this year, all those government services will be on virtual platforms, and all factors being held constant, Kenyans therefore should be able to consume government services from the comfort of wherever they are without having to physically visit government offices. Of course, augmented and supported by other interventions which we are introducing in the market in the not too distant future. The reason for this is that welfare of our people is of essence to us, if not imperative to us as government. Think of the inconveniences of long queues that our people have made over the years when applying for such government services, as birth certificates, identity cards, title deeds, passports, and other travel documents, certificates of good conduct, driving licenses, and many other documents. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, it is mind-boggling that before we embarked on this process, Kenyans who are resident overseas had to physically travel back to Kenya to be able to uptake certain government services. And we cannot, in this day and age, in this day of digital economy, continue with those type of surmountable challenges. People used to travel long distances and spend many hours and much money on the journey in search of those documents, ladies and gentlemen, and services. We are today determined to digitize all government records and digitalize all government services so that they are available aboard the technological platforms. Even jobs can be done and incomes earned online. In fact, this is our primary objective as far as the establishment of the digital laboratories is concerned. It is our proposition that we should be able to create about 1 million jobs for our youth through those digital laboratories. As they acquire the digital skills, we are going a step further to reach out to global technological companies and match them up with our youth so that we grant opportunity for our youth by way of digital skills to enable them fully exploit the skills, competencies, and capabilities that is rich and highly domiciled within our youthful population, ladies and gentlemen. And in that regard, we have stated many times, and I want to repeat, that as government, in any intervention that we are introducing in the marketplace, we are looking forward to effective strategic alliances and partnerships with the private sector. You know the agenda that we are pursuing, and at any given opportunity, we don't want to walk that journey alone. We want to tag you along so that we succeed together as one Kenyan economy for the benefit of both the public sector by way of efficiency and effectiveness, and the private sector by way of optimal return on investment. On behalf of government, ladies and gentlemen, I congratulate Airtel for this major achievement. I also want to thank you most sincerely on behalf of government for the confidence that you have in our country, as demonstrated by the expansion of your investment in the country. We don't take this for granted. Your additional investment is going to have a direct positive impact in a wide range of industries and services in Kenya. It's going to impact constructively on smart industries and industrial automation, education, health, transportation, robotics, and artificial intelligence, as well as edge computing and machine learning. Ladies and gentlemen, this initiative by Airtel is very much in tandem with our digital master plan. It is well aligned to the digital transformation agenda that we are pursuing as government. You are aware that the digital superhighway is a standalone thematic area in our overall policy framework, which is anchored on the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. This initiative supports our digital infrastructure pursuit. It is a facilitator of our digital skilling thematic area within the digital master plan. It is an enabler to our digital entrepreneurship key result area. And as government, all that remains on our part, based on the mandate that has been bestowed upon us as a ministry, is to ensure that to augment these great efforts by the private sector, we continuously scan the operational environment to monitor the trends, emerging issues in that operational environment, reach out to you people through a participatory approach so that we integrate your views as far as how to address emerging issues is concerned, so that we put in place an enabling policy, legal, and regulatory framework. I want to assure you once more that as a ministry, and by extension the government, you have, as a private sector, the support of the Kenya Kwanza government in this regard, and this has been on many instances espoused at the highest echelons of government by none other than His Excellency the President. We will continue working with the private sector in this regard, ladies and gentlemen. To Airtel, congratulations once more for this momentous achievement on your contribution to the growth of the sector, the industry, and of course the Kenyan national economy. I believe, ladies and gentlemen, that with effective partnership between us as government and the private sector, through a One Kenya approach from all facets, we should be able to effectively position Kenya as the ICT hub of Africa, and of course position Kenya in the global economy effectively by way of comparative advantage. It is now my distinguished honor and privilege, ladies and gentlemen, to declare the 5th generation of the Airtel Networks Kenya Wireless Cellular Technology, otherwise known as the 5G, officially launched. Thank you very much, and may God bless you. Wish you all the best. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Thank you very much, Bwana CS, for those words, and of course, showing government's commitment towards enhancing the digital economy, and of course, Airtel 5G be part of that journey and part of that story, and is indeed here with us, and we are glad that all of you could join us here today. So now, I'd like us to just turn our attention to the screen once more for this TVC that is actually going to be very too familiar to you pretty soon. So please, let's turn our attention to the screen for this brief video.
Hello, darling.
Hi, Granny.
What did you do this weekend?
Well, on Friday, I went on a science trip with my classmates to see the gorillas in Rwanda. Then, we watched the Cup final in London. On Saturday, my friends and I met up to hunt some dragons. Again. Also, I taught the vacuum cleaner and the TV this new dance everyone's doing. They're really getting into it. And on Sunday, I went to bed watching the world from space. And you? Yes, seriously, Granny.
With Airtel 5G's lightning-fast speeds and seamless connectivity, you won't believe what's next.
So I think we should get used to that kind of video because that's going to be, on our screens pretty soon for us to be able to harness what this 5G is all about. Now, I know the CS has, of course, declared this officially launched. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for us to officially launch this. And we say that anything that you launch in this country has to be done with a lot of boom, a lot of verve, a lot of vigor. And there are three things that never miss in any launch in the country. One is, who knows? One, confetti. 2, pyros, and 3, watermelon. We must eat watermelon during dinner. But now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to request our host to come and join me on stage because we are proceeding to a place where we are going to, no, even before you join us on stage, I think let's deal with something we call virtual reality, but also augmented reality, isn't it? We spoke about it earlier on. We saw the hologram, but now maybe it's time for us to experience it even a bit better. Let's see what augmented reality looks like. Ladies and gentlemen, this is definitely a reason to imagine that it's 5G. The Airtel 5G, the 5G network in the country is officially launched, and it gets even better because I'm going to request our chief guest, of course, to come and join me on stage kindly, and of course the CEO of Airtel Kenya also to come and join us on stage, tafadhali. Not forgetting, of course, Bwana Chilova tafadhali to come and join me, and also Mr. Shaina. I'm also going to request the Airtel Network Director, Hussein Versi, to come and join us on stage, as well as Priska Murigu, who is the Kenya Marketing Director, Airtel. We are definitely going to be doing this launch. It's not over yet until it's over. So ladies and gentlemen, it's not over yet. We are still going on with the launch. Doing it in style. the Airtel 5G style. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause. Let's put down the pyros first. Thank you. So requesting also all our guests to have one to show that officially launched the Airtel 5G in Kenya. Airtel, a reason to imagine. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, officially launching the Airtel 5G in Kenya. The best 5G network in the country. Let's give them a round of applause. Asanteni sana. Thank you very much. And also let's give a round of applause to Bumblebee, our dancing robot, doing a fantastic job. Thank you very much. Asante sana. But see us, we can take our seats, and all our guests. We really appreciate it. I'm going to request Mr. Hussein to remain on stage because we are also going to be requiring him in a short while. So just a reminder once again, in case you're taking pictures tonight, remember to tag Airtel Kenya on social media, and our hashtag of course is Airtel 5G. And thank you very much once again for everybody joining us here tonight. And to give us the vote of thanks, I'd like to call upon the Airtel Kenya Network Director, Mr. Hussein Versi, just to come and close this before we proceed to dinner. Karibu sana.
Thank you, Larry. The Honorable CS, Ministry of ICT and Digital Economy, Mheshimiwa Eliud Owalo, the Director General of Communication Authority, Mheshimiwa Ezra Chiroba, Airtel Africa Chief Commercial Officer, Mr. Anthony Shiner, the Airtel Kenya CEO MD, Mr. Ashish Malhotra, members of the Fourth Estate, Airtel colleagues, distinguished guests, habari za jioni, good evening. Ningependa kuchukua fursa hii kuwashukuru nyie wote kwa kuwa na sisi katika hafla hii ya kuzindua mtandao wa 5G na Airtel Kenya. Indeed, with the 5G technology, this will further enhance our broadband experience based on low latencies and high speeds, hence enriching our digital lifestyle. I would like to thank our partners who are with us here today for their great support in the deployment of this 5G network in Kenya. I'll start with the OEM providers, Nokia, Ericsson, ZTE, Huawei, our tower core and fiber infrastructures partners, American Towers, Alandic, Liquid Telecom, Atlas, and Seal. And finally, our managed services partners, Nokia, Ericsson, Conviva, EGPro, and Broadcom. Lastly, I would like to thank the organizers who have made this night a great event and a launch a great success. Once again, asanteni sana, thank you, and nawatakia jioni njema. Asante.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, once again. Now, before we proceed to dinner, just to tell you that, of course, we will have entertainment throughout the evening from one of the best saxophone players at this side of the Sahara, that is Laka. And the best part is, since we already have this technology, we are going to exploit it, and we can be able to see him play from wherever he is. This is the best thing. Now, working from home has turned different. This thing about working from home can actually be harnessed. Just ensure that before you leave, you talk to AMD CEO to connect you by tomorrow morning. The only problem is you really have to show you a hologram that you're working, and they set that up in the office. But it's very doable and very possible. Thank you very much once again. So I'm just going to request all of us to remain seated. Of course, soup is going to be served at the table, and thereafter we are going to be proceeding for dinner. Just requesting all of us to remain at our tables until we actually call everybody to go out. So thank you very much once again for everybody for joining us. My name is Larry Asego. It has been indeed a pleasure and an honor to be a host this evening. And until the next time, I say bon appetit. Let's continue networking, and let's explore what Airtel 5G has to offer. Thank you. So now, just saying that, of course, soup is going to be served at the table, so you can just remain seated. Our waiters are going to come round, take our service, and then we can proceed to dinner afterwards. Asante.
'Cause I'm certain brighter days are yet to come. Ain't no question that tomorrow there'll be good times. I believe with every beat of my heart.
I'm on a one-way train, tena memba nenda zangu do my best. Saa zingine wanga ni noma, imani yangu inanichoma, but I know there'll be a better day. Yeah, I'm living on the edge, sijui nitashukia kwa gani stage. Life inanisunda kwa kona, emotionally niko kwa boda. I pray for better days.
'Cause I'm certain brighter days are yet to come.
Hello, darling.
Hi, Granny.
What did you do this weekend?
Well, Friday, I went on a science trip to see the gorillas in Rwanda. Then we watched the cup final in London. On Saturday, my friends and I met up to hunt some dragons. Again. Yes. And on Sunday, I went to bed watching the world from space.
With Airtel 5G's lightning-fast speed and seamless connectivity, you won't believe what's next.
Then we watched the cup final in London. On Saturday, my friends and I met up to hunt some dragons. Again. Yes. And on Sunday, I went to bed watching the world from space.
With Airtel 5G's lightning-fast speed and seamless connectivity, you won't believe what's next.
Hello, darling.
Hi, Granny.
What did you do this weekend?
Well, Friday, I went on a science trip to see the gorillas in Rwanda. Then we watched the cup final in London. On Saturday, my friends and I met up to hunt some dragons. Again. Yes. And on Sunday, I went to bed watching the world from space.
With Airtel 5G's lightning-fast speed and seamless connectivity, you won't believe what's next.
Hello, darling.
Hi, Granny.
What did you do this weekend?
Well, Friday, I went on a science trip to see the gorillas in Rwanda. Then we watched the cup final in London. On Saturday, my friends and I met up to hunt some dragons. Again. Yes. And on Sunday, I went to bed watching the world from space.
With Airtel 5G's lightning-fast speed and seamless connectivity, you won't believe what's next.
Hello, darling.
Hi, Granny.
What did you do this weekend?
Well, Friday, I went on a science trip to see the gorillas in Rwanda.
Table 2, 3, and 4. Rows 2, 3, and 4. you can go and serve at the buffet. Rows 2, 3, and 4 from the front. You can go and serve at the buffet located to the right of the hall.
On Saturday, my friends and I met up to hunt some dragons. Again. Yes! And on Sunday, I went to bed watching the world from space.
With Airtel 5G's lightning-fast speed and seamless connectivity, you won't believe what's next.
Hello, darling.
Hi, Granny.
What did you do this weekend?
Well, Friday, I went on a science trip to see the gorillas in Rwanda. Then we watched the cup final in London.
Oh.
On Saturday, my friends and I met up to hunt some dragons. Again. Yes! And on Sunday, I went to bed watching the world from space.
With Airtel 5G's lightning-fast speed and seamless connectivity, you won't believe what's next.
Hello, darling.
Hi, Granny.
What did you do this weekend?
Well, Friday, I went on a science trip to see the gorillas in Rwanda. Then we watched the cup final in London.
Oh.
On Saturday, my friends and I met up to hunt some dragons. Again. Yes! And on Sunday, I went to bed watching the world from space.
With Airtel 5G's lightning-fast speed and seamless connectivity, you won't believe what's next.
Hello, darling.
Hi, Granny.
What did you do this weekend?
Well, Friday, I went on a science trip to see the gorillas in Rwanda. Then we watched the cup final in London.
Oh.
On Saturday, my friends and I met up to hunt some dragons. Again. Yes! And on Sunday, I went to bed watching the world from space.
With Airtel 5G's lightning-fast speed and seamless connectivity, you won't believe what's next.